It is October 12th, 2025. You know, yesterday on the 11th, a lot again. In the evening we went to KFC in New Philly, and this lady was in the restroom for a while, and she came out, and she walked up to him. She said, "I could hear people say stuff through the car speakers. They said Agent John's listening. He can hear them." And that guy said, "I figure he's playing everyone to get everyone." Well, yeah, that's what they do. And he said, "I already told these people, my God, no one's to ever say a word to her again in her life." Michelle confessed her and her family did all this because they were in debt to drug dealers, and that they even human trafficked people to pay those drug dealers back. And all these people willing to help because they were in debt to drug dealers. And she told on everyone. I already told them, are they crazy having someone like Michelle on their team? She tells on everyone and what everyone's doing. I know. Agent John might want to question her. Your scary voice. She'll probably go all the way back to when she was a toddler. Life of crime. She probably was stealing other babies' pacifiers. Seriously. She seems like a canary. Now, where that guy said that all these people were willing to help them pull this off so they could pay those drug dealers back. And my God, Michelle even admitted they human trafficked people, her and her family, to help pay those drug dealers back. No one's to say a word to her ever again. I already told them that. Now, I have a question for you people that helped out. Why would you? For the bet is for everything you have in life. Winner takes all. That's what they bet. So Michelle's family would, and the rules are you leave with the clothes on your back, and they take everything. So she would have been homeless. You loved her so much, why didn't you all donate $100 or $1,000? You let little children be killed, used for sex slaves. You helped out with that, selling them, killing them. Women, teenagers, teenage girls, teenage boys, small children, infants, to be sold. Body parts, sex slaves, because they were in debt to drug dealers. My God, why would you help out such evilness? Just so they wouldn't be poor. They're fool's bats. They're fool's bats. For this whole thing is a bet between two gentlemen. One bet, he could be so cruel, he could push her to suicide. The other one bet, he could make her give up everything in life and have other people participate. Winner takes all. It's Michelle's dad's bet for Michelle to get everything. Like a girl said in Maslin last week. Michelle's dad ran the scam for Michelle to get everything. Why would she deserve everything? I know. Why would she? Why would she deserve anything? Why? Why would she deserve anything? And her family she admitted her and her family were even human trafficking. They did all this because they were in debt to drug dealers. Oh, everybody knows. They'll talk about it clear up in Fairlawn, Massillon, North Canton. They sold a log in, remember? And one of the bets are, if you remember, January, February 19, about that time, December of 18, talking about this bet, where he banked everything on that no one would do the right thing. He banked everything on it. For he's always watching, waiting for you to make a mistake. No matter how the road twists or turns, always make sure you do what's right, because the first time you make a mistake, he's got you. Remember? He banked everything on that no one would do the right thing. Everything. Remember, he thinks it's funny trying to kill people, and he thinks it's funny killing people. We all know about that guy. Remember him? Michelle's dad's not funny, is he? We're January 13th, 23. See, that's where we'll go to September 30th, 25. 1 o'clock in the morning, a biker shows up, confronts Michelle. The guy's running it, sad. No one's to say a word to her again in her life. That this whole thing is your family's debt to drug dealers. Is that what's going on? Yes, I'm sorry. Does she even know who you are? No, I don't want her to know who I am. If I knock on that door and she answers it, will she know who you are? No, and I don't want her to know who I am. She doesn't even know who you are. You had her raped and tortured and her skull bashed in because your family was in debt to those drug dealers? Yes, I'm sorry. I watched January 13th, 23 when she talked to her friend Matt. He said the Ohio drug dealers were threatening that agent's life because they thought he let all those people be human trafficked, and it was your family? Yes, I'm sorry. Your family human trafficked people to pay back those drug dealers? Yes, I'm sorry. Your family human trafficked people to pay back those drug dealers. Yes, I'm sorry. She sold people, her and her family. Women, children. Now, is she better than some little kid's life? Somebody's mother, aunt, sister, wife, girlfriend. Somebody's daughter, niece, granddaughter. Or the same with a grandson, nephew, son, brother, cousin, uncle. Somebody's baby. Why is she better than other people's lives? She's not. And for her to think that it's okay for her family to sell people like they're cattle to pay off a debt so she's not poor. Because that's the only thing that would happen. They walk off with the clothes on their back. Or you bet everything you have in life. Winner takes all. Remember? The biker confronts her. Her new husband? His son. You told him that they could bash in his head, take him out to Youngstown. They have an attorney found him incompetent. And if they had something set up in Youngstown to do that, you ruined it by telling his son he could do it to him and steal his farm or steal his land. She's like, I know, I'm sorry. I really wanted that farm. I really liked it. You know it's something. Carl's son Rick that's threatening him that told little Rob that he's in a lot of debt. He needs that farm now. Michelle was with the Florida human traffickers, the ones that said they worked for Judge Peters and they were from Florida. Seen by 3,000 people at Big Family Church. 19, 20 and on. Yeah. She's with the Florida drug cartel. Her dad is the one where they said, what is that guy's problem? Helping people get away with crimes. What is his problem? Involving himself in crimes. Nobody can do this. Why is he helping people get away with crimes? What is that guy's problem in Massillon? Helping people get away with crime. That's her dad. December 18th, 24, Walmart 62. They still have it. Two guys walking and said Karen didn't know who Michelle was till January, February 19. No, not till she showed up and announced herself. I made sure of it. I still never talked to her. I've only seen her. And she said these people said she threatened her, and if she threatened her, she didn't care. I didn't care what they did to her, and she didn't even know who she was. No, I made sure of it. He said I told that drug dealer that bad after everything he had done to her, no one would ever want her. I told him leave her alone. I found out Karen's getting remarried. I knew she had it in her. He's in it with the drug dealers making bets. Okay. Now you go January 5th, 25, Walmart 62. Okay. Investigators come in. What is this? Another FBI agent lied to a U.S. Marshal. She was weird with herself. We always knew it was photoshopped of washing herself in the shower. And they photoshopped that in another room, and they had drugged her and told her to say it before. We always knew. Okay? And we have the agent over her case saying taped admitting that he let all this happen because he thought she threatened his daughter, and to find out, she didn't even know who she was. Was the FBI getting even with her? For them thinking that she threatened one of their kids, and to find out she didn't even know who she was. Do they realize how not funny this is? Okay. January 30th. 25. Should be the 30th. I don't think it's the 31st. Okay. I'm down in Carrollton. Some idiots say something to me, so I snap. They walk out, and then I start going on about it being a medication error, medical malpractice, and fraud that made me sick before. And how I almost died to my new husband. And then how Terry Coverly seen me almost kidnapped. And this guy's like, well, later on that day, Walmart 62. Those two guys walk in, the one from Carrollton and the guy from December 18th, 24. He said, I already told these people, okay, that I didn't think it was funny. Since I found out Karen didn't know who Michelle was till January or February 19. And they were telling people that she threatened her and she didn't even know who she was. He said, I found out Terry Coberly seen him almost kidnap her. I really feel bad. He said, I found out it was a medication error and fraud that made her sick before. I really feel bad. I told her that my office, when her ex-husband called out, now he's in it with my ex-husband, to my office, tell him I'm not there anymore. And I wasn't going to deal with him anymore. Okay? He said, and I told him, tell him the police have said that she has rights. He's a guy from Massillon. He's in it with my ex-husband. Okay. See, where I was talking to Josh. I said, when I was dating a retired Massillon police officer, he said, Massillon police, Massillon. He said, you know, there's a guy in Massillon that was helping him get away with everything. Dad found out he wasn't there anymore. He freaked out and fled the country. See, that's where the day before Thanksgiving of 23, Danny called me. I was at work. He said, Mom, I don't know how to tell you this. He said, Dad was acting irrationally, wouldn't listen to me, and he fled the country. I said, I'm busy. I'm at work. I can't deal with this. He dropped the puppies at the pound and all kinds of stuff. You want him, go get him. I said, I'm at work and I can't deal with this. Took me a couple days, went over there, sat down. I said, what on earth is going on? He said, Dad wasn't acting rationally. He went online. He bought this girl from an agency. I told him off. What kind of pathetic person buys a human being? What kind of pathetic person sells herself? You can't marry somebody you have never met. I said, did he even meet her before he bought her? Before he married her? He said he already paid the agency, paid for the wedding, paid for the travel, paid for everything. Went over there. He said he met her for a few days, married her, stayed over there for a while, came back one day, freaked out, said I could have everything, including his clothes, as if I'd want his clothes. And that he was fleeing the country and he was never coming back and left everything behind. And I'd never see him again. Okay. August 31st of 23. Okay. Pride Martin, around that time. I'm up there and this guy gets on the phone. I'm watching back cars drive by. He said, do you want to pull over and meet her? You don't want her to know who actually did this to her? To get enough money to pay him back. Tell him to leave her alone. See, they talked about this being somebody's drug bet for a while. July 4th, 22, out in Navarre, I'm working. And I went out on the front porch for a few minutes. And there's some African American people across the street having a picnic. Okay? And they were talking about the guy that he was so cruel that he could push me to suicide. Was talking about him. Oh, they've talked about this being a bet. All different places. Through the whole case. I went to Altman Hospital today. Some ladies walked in. We heard there was people in here making fun of her for a bunch of drug dealers drugging her up and telling her to say stuff and photoshopping things. Can you imagine that? I know. Do you realize how stupid you look? Do you realize how stupid you look? I heard some guy off in the distance. No, I didn't know her medical records were wrote up as fraud and medical malpractice. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, you did. Oh, yes, you did. Oh, yes, you did. Where years ago, I had all those surgeries, my muscles locked up, went to a bunch of crackpots, falsely diagnosed, gained 150 pounds in 2 years, and so swollen my knees would pop out of place, thyroid, adrenal gland shut down, heart attack, seizures. They were lying so bad they even said I had level 2 brain tumors near my pituitary gland removed. And my community health center, I went in there and I was talking to the doctor. They said I had level 2 brain tumors. Before I'll let them take any part of my brain out, I want to talk to my regular doctor. She's like, whoa, we need to have a long talk. What those doctors are doing. They're known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping them off, making them sick, getting kickbacks from the drug companies, and draining people's insurance companies like checking accounts. sharing them with associates and friends doing the same thing and making people so sick they do unnecessary procedures. You don't have brain tumors. You don't have anything wrong with you, but your muscles locked up from all those surgeries. They've caused all this. You need to get an attorney and sue them, turn them over to the state for them to pull their license. You're not the first one and not the only one. And it is wrote up as fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. And they didn't say allergic reaction. They said medication errors. Like they said, medication errors means false diagnosis and wrong meds. It means fraud. It's a nice way of saying fraud. So, and it took me 9 months to get well. Slowly get well, as the swelling left. And I mean, pulling myself up and down street malls. I went to Dr. Eli, agreed it was a medication, put me on fentanyl patches. They don't give fentanyl to faker. It's 100 times stronger than morphine. Like I said, your muscles are locked so tight, the only way to get them to unlock is to move. And as you move them, blood flow gets pushed into them. And blood flow gets pushed into them, they'll relax, and then we can build new muscle tissue. But they're so tight, you can't move. They would actually raise up like this, like a baby's foot, through my skin. And when they clench, even tighter, and blood vessels would break, and I'd have blood running down my legs, my stomach, and bleed through my skin. You talk about excruciating pain. I have red freckles from it. I would literally start bleeding through my skin from the blood vessels breaking, for the muscles clenching tighter. First month off the medication, I lost 30 pounds. Second month, I was pulling myself around stores and malls. I ended up in so much pain, ended up in the hospital. By the end of the second month, beginning of the third month, I could drive a car. Seizures, heart attacks stopped. My thyroid, adrenal gland started working. I went from a 24 by November of 2002 to April of 2003. I was a 16. I was doing my own grocery shopping, my own, driving my own car. I took my canes and braces. My knees were so swollen, I had to go to orthopedic doctors and have turkey-based syringes pulled out of underneath my knee. That was knocking my knee out of place. And that's why they gave me canes and braces to hold them in place. And as the swelling slowly left, and then learning to re-walk on numb feet. And then it took me till July to get all the way well. And May 3rd of 2003, that's when that traffic accident with that one family, I had nothing to do with it. Me and my whole family were at home, and Brian Laney had to show up and tell us. Dave kept everybody home from the church baseball game to help him replace carpets. And how Phil was speeding, ran a stop sign, and into a semi, killed him and Tyler both. It was his fault. Come July, I finished getting well. It took me 9 months. And in November of 2003, my sister Linda's married the strangest kid to him. And one day she was out, she caught him with Katie, another woman, so she started following him. She got caught, they thought it was me, and he made up that baby lie, calling me a baker 6 months later. Had to get rid of me real quick. He thought I caught his son with a mistress. Being a cult leader, he couldn't have it. And pushed my kid to suicide, make sure I wouldn't go back. And, yeah, had nothing to do with that family. Like, they told Officer John, they said it was Officer John that was dating Michelle and Arush. That got her to confess March 27, 25, that the doctor from before was never one of mine. He works for them. They had lied. He was one of my doctors, and she actually don't know who he is. And when they bashed in my head, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent. It didn't work. He had got it out of my ex-husband that a girlfriend from before me made him marry me so he could get a job at my dad's factory, so she'd have free insurance. The woman using up my insurance and running up all those medical bills in my name was another girlfriend of his. 15 years, half my medical records are hers. She went Harry Carey on my insurance. And I got stuck with the copays, would argue with people, but you don't have to show ID back then. And they could have procedures, everything. You just went in and people took you for who you were. Ran up all kinds of bills in my name. He had even gotten out of the Vegas. They asked him, why would you say it offended you when she had nothing to do with that traffic accident? And 6 months later, they said it didn't even concern them. It had nothing to do with them. Her father killed her kid. They just lied so people would help out with this. March 27th, 25, about 1 in the morning. Okay. He's been assigned to me since 18, beginning of the case. I walk into Walmart, and people say John's here to take care of Karen. When I looked over, I seen him. I thought his name was John. The Canton police were talking about the officers that are assigned to me, and so I thought he was an officer. And this year, I was here, I heard some Stark County sheriffs talk. They said she knows him as Officer John. He's not an officer. His name's not John. He's actually a federal agent. Some nurses mentioned you today. The officer that's not an officer but is an agent told the police not to say anything to her. What was going on about everything. How bad everybody felt. Yeah. Where you been, honey? How's it been breaking loose? To listen to September 30th, 25, my God. Oh, August 4th, 25, August 5th, 25, August 7th, 25, of them admitting to hypnotic drugs, drugging me up and telling me to say it was hypnotic drugs. That's why I have no memory of those people, and caused the metal taste in my mouth, and then called Agent John a coward. August 5th, 25, August 4th, 25, they admitted to using hypnotic drugs on me when they drugged me and told me to say it before. That's why I had a metal taste in my mouth and no memory. I never had these people in my home. You guys all could be playing me for all I know. And see, that's where an investigator had said months ago, when people look at her and they talk to her, she never had anybody in her home. She never spoke to anyone. She never seen anyone before. And when you talk to her, realize that. That's all she knows. Y'all look crazy. And where you guys all run around, oh, an attorney. You mean Michelle's dad, Dave's girlfriend's dad? The one running a drug scam on me? Him and his friends. It's up in Summit Mall. Last month they were talking about it. That's the one her ex-husband, his girlfriend's dad, and his friends ran a drug scam on. Yeah. So, and August 5th, 25, Dutch Valley Restaurant. Some of Michelle's groups in there was talking as if Agent John didn't know they used hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. That's why she had a metal taste in her mouth and she has no memory of these people. He was telling people he knew she was being drugged, being raped before it started, and he didn't care. And he even let them torture her. Is he some kind of coward? Then August 7th, 25, Walmart 62 again, investigators having those tapes and seeing it in there. August 30th, 25, up in Summit Mall in Macy's upstairs, a guy answers his phone. It is documented and verified. They used hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. That's why she has no memory of these people and had a metal taste in her mouth. You know, where do people, do you realize how stupid you look? You know, and it just proves how much drug dealers and people could con you, how stupid you are. When people say, well, attorney did it. Attorneys can't do this. The law states if an attorney sets up button cameras in your home, they are to be disbarred and criminally charged. If an attorney has you drugged for confession, they are to be disbarred and criminally charged.
Pharmaceutical torture. The other one's felony invasion of privacy and cyberstalking. Those are federal prison sentences. Do you realize how stupid you look? Learn your rights. Teenage girls in Carrollton were telling each other, if anybody tells you they're in your home, you tell the police. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life, with statements, with a court order, without a conflict of interest. And there's nothing else. Fourth, Fifth, and Sixth Amendment and the constitutional rights. July 24th, 25, an investigator, I did a tape of Weird with Yourself, where we already know they were saying it was a shower scene in the other room. I did a body ratio. It wasn't even Karen. They put her head on somebody else washing in the shower. July 25th, 25, investigator from 18 shows up. Some couple had got smart with me and Bob Evans in 62, and I snapped. Went off the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I go over to Walmart 62. He walks in. I told that couple never to say a word to her again. I interviewed John a long time ago, years ago. And he said nothing bad ever happened to him. So did all our boys. Well, they're supposed to have drugged her and told her the drugs and told us that. And he was mad. Okay. You know, I can sit here and I can ramble and ramble. How many times they admitted to drugging me and tell me to say it before? How many? See, that's one of the things they said August 7th, 25 in Walmart 62. Again, we taped them admitting to drugging her and telling her to say it before. Now they said what kind of drugs they used. And that she would have no memory and that metal taste in her mouth. We got a tape of them and calling Agent John a coward. Agent John, they don't think you'll stand up to him. They already made a public fool out of you, June 7th, 23. Mocked you how you would fall for stunted tapes before that were only a stunt. Oh, come on, that FBI agent fell for that. June 7th, 23. Walmart 62. Stark County Sheriff's admitted they had a tape of them of mocking you for falling for this. Now, what is it they think they can mock you and you won't retaliate? And that they think that you'd sit back and let the case get thrown out for the drug cartel before you would pay me. Why is that? See, that's where, why is that? Is it because they're corrupt and they think everyone's corrupt? I would like my money. And that thing with Rick threatening Carl's life and that he's going to bash his skull and take him out to Youngstown, have him found incompetent, throw him in a nursing home, they have it set up. You better make sure you check the competency hearings out there, have someone do it. Because make sure that's not some kind of dumping ground. And with him telling his daughter Audrey that he's going to do it, he's got a plan. He's going to be bashing his father's skull in and mine, and he's going to take his dad out there, have a competency hearing, throw him in a nursing home, walk off with everything. He just don't know how he's going to do it yet. You know, I had already signed off on the farm, so that when Carl passed, it would have went to his kid. There was a provision if there was final expenses for it to be sold, but if they could always buy it. If he had final expenses, like if he would have a broken hip or something, had to go to a nursing home, then I wouldn't get stuck with the bills, because that's not right. But otherwise, it went straight to them, you know, and be divided between them. And the other one could always pay the other ones off. But if you threaten Carl's life, you threaten mine, you don't get a damn dime. Not a damn dime. Not a damn dime. Not a damn dime. Do I care where he told little Rob he's in debt? He makes $200,000 a year. He's a long-distance truck driver. So why is he so in debt?
and him dealing with Michelle. It's scary. And I need my money. I need to get Carl and me a safer place to live. And I run on the weekends from time I get off, maybe give myself an hour to go home, get a shower, have a cup of coffee, get my hair, and then leave till dark so they can't show up and beat on the trailer and terrorize him. He's scared to death. He's 80 years old. He turned 80 years old. He's 9 months older than our President of the United States. Pays his own bills, does his own meds, can drive anywhere. He used to be a long distance truck driver too. I can tell you stories of the wars. Real sweetheart. And his second wife's kids, Brenda. Mr. Blue was alive till a few years ago. I even have a text message where Rick sent it to Audrey that Deb said her father died a few years ago. She's in her 50s. This orphan Annie thing is a scam where they took all that money from Carl. I have probably $50,000, $60,000 in checks. People said somebody was listening when I was reading off the amounts of a check of $5,000, $6,000, $3,800, $3,800, $4,000, $2,000. And just going on and on. And I could get more. And the FBI police witnessed them taking $6,000 from him in 2 months in cash. Well, the bank's closed. The bank is closed. They need to go find some other senior citizen called mommy or daddy, beat on them, and steal all their money, leave Carl alone. Not getting a damn dime either. But this orphan Annie thing of they never had a father. Even a text message from Rick that Deb's dad just died a few years ago. She's in her 50s. They lied. Like Carl said, they were going down to see him. He wasn't doing well a few years ago. He even stopped over and seen Brenda. And that he was going to go see the kids when they were grown. He's always been in their life. They just lied. They're con men. But him telling little Rob he's in debt. Where would you be in debt? He usually spends 30 days down at in Florida. Several times a year. He makes $200,000. Him and his girlfriend makes big money too. And for him to say he's in debt, he needs that land now, and Michelle saying she wants it, and that she's the one that told him. My God, Agent John, you need to arrest him. You need to arrest all these people. You have them. The case is solved. Who did it and why? My whole family spoke highly of me. See, that's where the FBI and police had a huddle right after Thanksgiving of 18. They were talking about catching Melissa. Melissa's so stupid she made everything up. When you were fishing with Dave, she's actually that stupid. She didn't check where you were, and why are they having those kids make all that shit up? Oh, they're just trying to scare her into giving up the house. That's it. We interviewed her whole family. They spoke highly of her. And like Officer John said, January 12th, 22, where those kids get tape stating, they made everything up. They're documenting games of pretend, as the Massillon police said. And like the Stark County sheriffs were laughing at some guy named Kurt for falling for it. Said if Kurt just found out those kids are lying, he is slow. They've called her out for lying in even other states. October 5th, 21, they were talking about that girl lying again. One client's like, who's that crazy Melissa? All they do is talk about lying everywhere I go. Everywhere we go. I said, my ex-daughter-in-law friends with ex's girlfriend had the kids make up some mean games of pretend in front of the police on Thanksgiving of 18. He said it's been years, and they're still talking about that girl lying. They're documenting me jokes. Nobody went to the hospital. There's no police report. The police were already there. People in Carrollton were laughing about that. Police were already there when they made it up. For the FBI case. Like Officer John said, when those kids get tape stating, they made everything up. The games of pretend. Like Flora said, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. They were games of pretend. I would spank them all because they wanted Auntie Shell and Papa to get the house. For the house wasn't meant for Grandma. It was meant for Auntie Shell and Papa. Michelle. And then later on the floor, they made everything up. Like they said, her family ought to be ashamed of themselves, sitting around laughing, making up stuff behind Karen's back. She's risking her life to get information on these people, trying to save everybody's life, and they're sitting around laughing, making up stuff on her. They should be ashamed. Nobody went to the hospital. There's no police report. There's no pictures of injuries. I mean, jokes. That's it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and upload this. I gotta get to work, but if I'd like to have my money, I gotta get Carl to a safer place where I don't have to worry about people bashing his head in over, because Michelle wants that farm. She's not getting it. Not even a little bit. And his debt and him dealing with the Florida drug cartel, not my problem. And it will not be my problem. And I've been looking for us a new place, but it'd be nice to have my money agent on. They're trying to get the case thrown out that he opened against the cartel because they said that, why are they calling Agent John a coward? Well, they want him found not credible. So, because he told on her before he talked to her. We're calling the FBI hotline. Admitted on a recorded line. Everybody already knew she called the FBI. He doesn't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. He opened a case, didn't pay her, so he was defrauding her. You can't use fraud, so they want every drug dealer released. And everybody arrested off of this, and nobody else arrested, and the whole case thrown out. You need to arrest Michelle's dad and her. They're trying to get your case. September 10th, 25, Tuscarawas County Courthouse. They said some of that office that is helping out in this was down there lying on me. Trying to get your case thrown out. Alright, I'm going to upload this.